Talk about planning and scheduling. A lot of people often ask, what is the value of planning and scheduling? And it's a relatively easy thing to answer, but let's go back and talk about what you're trying to accomplish in a maintenance organization. The whole key that we have a maintenance organization or an asset reliability group or whoever you're putting responsible for your equipment, your assets, and your buildings is to make sure that they run all the time when you want them to run, make sure they're maintained well, and make sure you maintain it at a cost that is acceptable to your organization. So one of the key components of doing all of the above is to have well-planned work orders, and then once you have well-planned work orders, to schedule it. Now the value of having a well-planned, and just kind of give you a little background on a well-planned work order is one that the best way to describe it is it looks just like a cooking recipe. You've got your parts, you've got your equipment, and you've got your procedure of how you're going to make a cake or how you're going to make a product. So the key there is to have, for your critical work orders, your critical plans, is to have a lot of details of how you want things done and why you want them done that way. Once that's completed, then you can go and schedule that work with your customer. So if you don't have a good plan, then you really don't have the pieces in place to make sure the schedule is completed in a timely and efficient fashion. So you've got to have a plan, and then you can create a good schedule. If you don't have a schedule, it's kind of like the cable guy. He's supposed to come at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he never shows up. So your customer service is low. That's one of the benefits of planning and scheduling. But the real big benefit is planned and scheduled work is 4 times cheaper than reactive or emergency work or unplanned work. So think about it as if you had to make a cake one day for a birthday party, and you got up and you had a hard time finding the recipe, or you had to look for the recipe, or maybe you couldn't find a complete recipe. Then you had to find the ingredients. Then you had to go to the store, and then you had to come back and you had to find the equipment. And so this process just drags on and on all day long as you're trying to get this cake made. The same thing happens in maintenance. So reactive work is 4 to 6 times the cost. Planned and scheduled work is a lot cheaper. So that's the major key to it. The additional benefits of planning and scheduling are the work is safer, it's done with a higher quality, so you actually have potentially a longer life cycle out of your assets and equipment. It has a higher customer service. It also has a higher morale for the maintenance employee. So those are the key components of why you want to plan and schedule. It's cheaper, it's a higher quality, it's higher safety, it's more customer service, and you're going to get a longer life out of your assets and your equipment.